Ever wonder what would happen if a quiet cryptographer working behind the scenes suddenly turned into a full-blown rogue agent? Well, meet Charlie Heller, who spends his time solving puzzles and cracking codes in a shed behind his house. But everything changes the day his wife, Sarah, kisses him goodbye and leaves for a conference in London. That's the last time he sees her alive. Charlie works for the CIA as a cryptographer. He's the guy behind the screens, decoding top-secret messages. He's also got a good relationship with one of the field agents, a big guy everyone calls the Bear. Turns out Charlie once saved his life, and that made them close. But Charlie's also keeping a little secret. He's been chatting with someone online under the name Inquiline. They've never met, never even exchanged real names, but they've been sharing high-level classified info, and Charlie's always trying to guess where Inquiline is located. One day, Charlie gets a message and some files from Inquiline. What he finds shocks him. Hidden in those documents are records of illegal drone strikes in the Middle East. These attacks weren't just unsanctioned, they were covered up to look like suicide bombings. The orders came straight from the top, Director Frank Moore and his deputy, Caleb Horowitz. But Charlie doesn't have much time to think about it. He gets called into the office by Director O'Brien and Moore, who give him heartbreaking news: Sarah is dead. She was caught in a hostage situation while in London. Charlie doesn't believe it until he sees the footage with his own eyes. Men storming in, grabbing her. It's brutal. When her belongings are returned to him, Charlie finds a puzzle Sarah was going to give him as a gift. That's when he breaks down. The grief hits him like a train. But he doesn't just sit around mourning. Charlie wants justice. He asks Moore and Caleb to go after the terrorists who killed his wife. But they brush him off. It's complicated, they say. Not our fight. He starts digging. Watching the footage again and again. Studying faces. Names. He finds out there were 4 people involved in the attack. Mishka Blazek, Elish, Gretchen Frank, and Horst Schiller, the one who actually pulled the trigger. He also finds something chilling. Sarah wasn't even the original target. She stepped in to protect another woman and got taken instead. That's all Charlie needs to hear. He marches into Moore and Caleb's office and demands training. Says he wants to go after them himself. They laugh in his face. A desk guy, out in the field, not a chance. But Charlie doesn't back down. He drops a bomb. He has a dead man's switch. If he doesn't check in every 5 hours, the files he got from Inquiline, the ones about the drone strikes, go straight to the press. Now they're not laughing. They agree to send him to a training camp, but behind his back, they make a darker plan: get rid of Charlie. Quietly. Charlie ends up at Camp Ready, where he meets Colonel Henderson. Folks call him Hendo. It's rough. Charlie struggles with physical training and combat drills. He can't shoot, he can't fight. But what he can do is make things go boom. He's brilliant at explosives, and that earns him some respect. Still, after a few weeks, Henderson decides Charlie just doesn't have what it takes to kill someone. Meanwhile, Moore and Caleb realize Charlie may have been bluffing. Their team can't find any real dead man's switch. So, they give the order: eliminate him. But Charlie's already a step ahead. He escapes the camp. Now the mission begins. Charlie's first stop is Paris, where he tracks down Gretchen Frank. He sneaks into her apartment, finds medical records showing she has allergies and visits a specific clinic. He knows she's vulnerable. Next time she checks into the clinic, Charlie disguises himself as a doctor and locks himself in her room. He pumps pollen into the air system, triggering her allergy. As she struggles to breathe, he demands Schiller's location. But just when it looks like she's about to pass out, Charlie hesitates and lets her go. Big mistake. Gretchen attacks him. They fight viciously, smashing the room apart. She escapes out the door, runs into the street, and gets hit by a car. Dead on the spot. Charlie grabs her phone and vanishes. Using her phone, he finds a lead in Marseille. But Henderson has tracked him down. There's a wild chase through a club, and Charlie gets cornered. But he's planned ahead. He triggers an explosion in the bathroom and uses the chaos to escape once again. Then, a twist: Charlie finally meets Inquiline. She's not who he expected. Her name's Davies, a former KGB agent whose husband was murdered. She's been living off the grid, helping whistleblowers like Charlie. The two team up at her safe house in Istanbul. Together, they find Mishka Blazek in Madrid. Apparently, this guy bribes hotel staff to clear the rooftop pool so he can swim alone. Charlie uses that. He rigs a pressure device on the pool glass. When Mishka tries to swim away, Charlie activates it, the glass breaks, and Mishka falls 16 stories to his death. But trouble keeps finding Charlie. Henderson shows up again, sent by O'Brien, who now suspects Moore and Caleb. Henderson gets into a brutal fight with another CIA operative. He's shot, but not killed. Back in Istanbul, Davies and Charlie are ambushed by a CIA strike team sent by Caleb. They flee, but during the chase, Davies is fatally shot. Charlie is devastated. He's lost another person he cares about. Now it's personal. Charlie heads to Romania and tricks Elish into meeting him under the pretense of an arms deal. He gives Elish a case rigged with a bomb that will detonate if moved. Trapped, Elish spills everything. Schiller has escaped Europe and is now on a boat in the Baltic Sea. He also gives up the names of Schiller's associates. Charlie doesn't keep his promise. He leaves the bomb active. Boom. Elish is gone. Meanwhile, Charlie hacks into CIA facial recognition systems, rerouting their efforts. They're looking for him in the wrong countries. Genius move. In the final act, Charlie arrives in Primorsk. There, the bear shows up again and offers him an out. "You've done enough," he says. But Charlie refuses. He's not stopping until Schiller is taken down. Eventually, Schiller's men catch Charlie snooping around a shipyard. He's taken onto the boat and comes face to face with the man who killed his wife. Schiller tries to explain. Says they never meant to kill Sarah, but the cops blocked their escape, and they had to show they were serious. Then he flips it back on Charlie. "You killed Blazek. You bombed Elish. You pushed Gretchen into the street. You're no different." Charlie doesn't deny it, but he has one final trick. While Schiller was talking, Charlie was stalling. He sent the boat's location to Finnish authorities. Minutes later, agents storm the vessel. Schiller and his men are arrested on the spot. Back home, O'Brien holds a press conference. The truth about Moore and Caleb's drone strikes is now public. Both men are arrested, and O'Brien confirms that the whistleblower is alive and cooperating with the agency. Charlie finally visits Sarah's grave. He says goodbye. Then he returns to his shed, the place where it all began. He finds a toy plane Sarah once gave him. He fixes it up, sends it flying.